Hi guys.
Nice to meet you.
It's Matt Lemke with 3Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com. I'm at Gen Con 2014. I said the wrong convention twice.
Okay.
I'm not going to get his last name right.
Roberto
Di Meglio. Is that Italian?
Italian.
Excellent. And well, he's with Aries Games, and we're going to go and take a look at all their games and focus a little bit on 5 Armies real quick. Go ahead, Roberto.
Okay. Okay, so where do we start?
How about Sales of Glory?
Okay, so Sales of Glory has been one of our major releases this year. It's been really very huge success for us. It's a naval combat game set in the Napoleonic age with pre-painted, pre-assembled ships, and it's somehow a successor to Wings of Glory, which has been our very popular series since the beginning of the birth of our company, based on World War I and World War II combat. Sales of Glory, just like Wings, makes wargaming really accessible thanks to the pre-painted models, thanks to the maneuver deck system, which makes gameplay really fast, at the same time without sacrificing the historically accuracy that we want to keep in our games. If you take a look at the models, you will see that they are really very nice and detailed. They really come like this, straight out of the box. And when you play with the basic rules, you can really start playing in a matter of minutes. So that's thanks to the maneuver deck system, which makes the game really accessible. A lot of the complexities of what a naval game is, including the wind, the various sail settings, all this information, the speed of the ship, its maneuverability, all this information is condensed in the maneuver deck. So the player really find out how the ship sails without the need to learn a lot of different specific rules. The game is really simple. You have once you know the direction of the wind on the table, you just look at the orientation of the ship to the wind. So for example, here the ship is oriented to the green part of the base. Then when you choose a card, you put it like this and move it, just like you do with the Wings of Glory. So this may seem to be very simple, but in fact the way ships maneuver, also thanks to the different color codes which are on the bases, which are different from one ship to another, the different sizes and shapes of the arrows. So a lot of information is condensed and made ready to play in the form of the ship base and the maneuver deck. So it's a tactical game, so the starter set includes 4 ships. You can easily play with 2 against 2. And the nice thing about this game is that it scales up really well. Here at Gen Con we had the first, we call it a record breaker event, because we set up the record for the biggest Sales of Glory game ever, and it was played by 53 players all together at one table. So it's a game that scales up really well.
Very nice.
Yeah. And before Sales of Glory, we created and published Wings of Glory, which is our airplane combat game set both in World War I and World War II. It shares the similar mechanical engine with Wings of Glory. We have also here the maneuver deck system, and we also use pre-painted, pre-assembled model planes, so that makes the game very accessible because you can play right out of the box, and thanks to the maneuver deck system, the game is immediately playable. So it's just a few pages of rules. You can explain the game in 5 minutes and start playing. We have a big World War I range and also World War II range, which is growing. Here at Gen Con we played the first events with the upcoming World War II 4 engine models that, if you want, I can take you a preview glimpse at. They're very beautiful. B-17s and Lancasters. And this has been a classic. Wings has been with us since forever, since the birth of our company. Another.
You are the
another big hit for us this year has been Galaxy Defenders. Galaxy Defenders was launched with Kickstarter last year, and then we shipped it to our bakers in March this year. It's a cooperative science fiction game. 1 to 5 players play together against the alien invasion, and the alien are programmed through an artificial intelligence system. The game is also very strongly focused on campaign play, so that the scenarios are linked together. The outcome of each scenario influences the gameplay of the following ones. Your characters level up and acquire new devices, new weapons from one scenario to another. So it's one of those things that our players really like, is that you really see your characters evolve, and playing a full campaign is really satisfactory. Here in the demo you're playing the first scenario, where the very first encounter with the alien invaders. And this year we launched the season 2 of Galaxy Defenders, again on Kickstarter, and season 2 brings the storyline forward. The alien invaders are being fought back, counter-attacked on their bases on the moon, and so the Earth defenders counter-attack, armed with power suits and power armors, counter-attack first the alien invaders' base on the moon, and then on the alien's home planet itself. So the new expansions, which will be launched next year, will advance the Galaxy Defenders storyline further. Apart from these historical games, Aries also publishes several other board games, some Euro-style games and some family games. Our most recent releases of this kind have been Incognito. Incognito is the new edition of a classical game that was made popular by MB in the 80s, sold more than 1 million copies. It's a deduction game set in Venice, where each player controls one spy. And the very funny thing about this game is that at the beginning of the game you don't know who your friend is, so you have to figure out who's your friend, and you have to figure out by piecing together two parts of a mission code. You must try to figure out what your mission is. So your first goal is to find out who's your partner. Second goal is try to find out what is your mission and try to achieve it. So the game is very funny because you are playing in the dark, trying to figure out who's an enemy, who's not, and try to be the first team to accomplish the mission. So it's mostly a 4-player game, but also includes variants to play with 3 and 5 people. And we also started to develop family games. Our first family games is Micro Monsters. Micro Monsters is a very simple game, but it's very fun because of its dexterity element. Its core engine is based on tiddlywinks. So each player rolls one die, you look at which piece you may move, and you shoot it using the squidger. And the player who wins is the player who is the last one with a base standing. Each of the army is characterized by different special ability that is activated when you roll a special symbol on the dice. So some armies, an army can move twice if you roll the special symbol, another army can make a special attack placing a trap to catch your troops. It's very simple and fun. It's just 2 pages of rules. There is the dexterity element, and this is our first foray into the field of family games. We are also preparing a second one, which you can see in that box there, Dino Race. Dino Race is a racing game with cute painted dinosaurs, and I can get you to take a look at them because they're really nice. So let's see some previews. You can see the game includes 8 painted dinosaurs and a dino egg. And it's a race. You are racing to be the first one to finish the track before the track gets destroyed by the volcano eruption. So you have the lava flowing and chasing after the dinos. And while the dinos also try to get away with the dinosaur egg to try to achieve a special bonus at the end of the game. So it's again, it's a very simple, fast game, which is very funny for families, but we have seen in our playtesting group that has also been very popular with grown-up gamers who just want a lighter experience, a filler with a little bit of a take that effect, because you can play cards against the other players to make them stumble, to steal the egg, to steal the card. So it's very fun and fast flowing. And as I promised, there's another preview which I can show you. These are our new World War II airplanes, still in production at the moment, but we've been playing a big event here at Gen Con featuring them. So we have several new, we have two different B-17s. One is a B-17G, bit of lace, and the other one is a B-17F. Memphis Belle, possibly the most famous B-17 ever.
You got one?
Actually, we have the real one.
The Air Force Museum from Dayton, Ohio. Oh.
It's being restored there right now, actually.
Really?
Pieces. But they kept the, the pin up there on the side. It's real nice one. Good look at it. This is like a
and we're also doing Lancasters.
Oh wow!
Most famous British bomber of World War II. And we have two different Lancasters. One is a normal Mk3 version. Grog's the shot. And we have another Lancaster which is very interesting also because it's a sort of a mini expansion in itself to the game, because it's a Dumbbuster version of the Lancaster. So you see this Lancaster was made lighter by removing the top turret, by removing the turret at the bottom, because it had to bring this huge bomb which was used to destroy the dams on the Ruhr. And to make full use of this new model, we are also including with the model a solitaire scenario where you attack the dam, including a paper mat with the game dam, which can be used as an overlay to the game mat, and the special counters that you use to represent the bouncing bomb, because this bomb was thrown in a way to avoid the protective net of the dams to bounce over the surface of the water, so made several bumps like this before striking against the dam, and this is recreated using the rules and counters which are packaged together with this Lancaster.
Thank you so much.
And I may give you a brief tour of our Battle of Five Armies.
That would be great.
There it is. Okay, this is Battle of Five Armies. This is our new standalone game in the War of the Ring line. And Battle of Five Armies is being developed to recreate the epic battle which is the ending of The Hobbit. The game focuses on the battle at the feet of the Lonely Mountain. So it's based on the similar mechanics to our previous War of the Ring game, so still uses the action dice system that War of the Ring uses an event card mechanic to enhance both the actions and the combat, but it's quite more tactical than War of the Ring is. In Battle of Five Armies, all units have different capabilities in terms of their combat strength, the type of terrain they prefer to fight on, specific unit abilities. So the combat is quite a more tactical, more detailed feeling than in War of the Ring. There is also much stronger emphasis on characters. All characters in the game have been represented with unique sculptures, and also the characters have unique abilities which are represented by character cards. The people player has a lot of characters. The shadow player only has one character, which is Bolg, but of course the shadow player has much more troops to deal with, and also he has Bolg, which is individually the most powerful character on the battlefield. At the same time, just like in the story, if Bolg is killed, then the battle is lost for the shadow player. There are also all the other specific elements of the battle, the brave bats, the eagles, goblins scuttling through the mountain. All these elements of the battle are featured in the game. Other differences between this game and War of the Ring are several unique mechanics, including different recruitment mechanics more suitable for a tactical game. There are mechanics representing the progress of fate, what we call the fate track, which determines the arrival of the various allies of the three people, including Thorin coming out of the front gate, the arrival of the eagles, the arrival of Bjorn, and the end of the battle itself. All these elements are managed through the use of the fate track, which is a unique new mechanic which was not a part of the War of the Ring system before.
Now, do you need War of the Ring to play this game?
No. It's a completely self-contained game, standalone, that you can just pick up and play.
Excellent. Thank you, Roberto.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Anything you want to add?
Oh, I think so. Thank you very much. Thank you to all your viewers. Hopefully your Janko rappers will be a great success for you.
Hopefully. Thank you.